Meg's voice spins out into the night. The worlds dissolve into the thick, humid air of the rainforest. They become meaningless sounds in the darkness. The palm viper coiled in the buttressed roots of the acacia tree might hear them, but more meaningful is the flick of an anole's tail on a nearby philodendron leaf. An ocelot on the prowl has passed the empty web of the slingshot spider and moves toward the strange sounds. A chameleon clamps 2 toes on one side of a stem and 3 on the other, and listens to the soft burr of a noise from inside, the place it cannot see. In the understory, above the chameleon, a frog slaps its sticky-pedaled feet on a palm frond and freezes. Are these the sounds of its enemy, the coati? And far overhead in the canopy, a fruit bat cocks its sonar toward the dark little cabin 100 feet below as it sweeps through the night, dropping a seed here, a seed there. The words, the strange sounds, melt into the night as the tiny bromelid begins to grow in silence. And invisibility high above, the bat flies on. The boys are sound asleep. Meg walks up the new porch and down the steps to the ground. The rain has begun again, as it so often begins, with single, separate drops, sounding more like thuds than the tiny plinks of city rain. It is a round sound, so round and so liquid that it is easy to imagine the shape of each raindrop as it splashes and flattens on a broad leaf in the top of the canopy. Within these first few seconds, she can actually hear the rain high up before she can feel it. But the drops continue, finding their way down through the layers. The clouds let those bellyfuls of moisture. One rain spear slides into another until the water falls in thin strands. Within minutes it is beating down so hard that the thin silvery strands lose their shape, turning to liquid smoke that clouds the air. Notice mustache. Meg goes back in her porch and lights her comb and lamp. She gets out her computer. In the dim, foggy night of the rainforest, a small neon green rectangle is illuminated. She needs to enter the latest figures on the leaf-eating pattern that she has mapped on the graph paper, as well as yesterday's secret inventions. She is alone. Meg spends much of her time alone in the canopy and then back in the forest floor, pondering what she has seen above. But despite the solitariness of her work, the lonely hum of the computer, and the clicking of the keys in the back of her mind is the consoling knowledge of other scientists and pioneers. It is easy for her to bridge the chasm of more than 100 years and reach out toward the one who navigated the path to freedom by feeling for the moss on the north side of trees. Were Harriet Tubman's experiences so different from her own? Didn't they both have to trust their knowledge of the earth and find their way through a tangled darkness? It has been a long day, an anxious one with the kids up in the canopy, but the very thought of Harriet Tubman is strangely reassuring. So Meg types on through the next several hours until her computer batteries begin to fade and the gray of a new dawn filters slowly through the canopy. In just another few hours, it will be time for her to climb into her safety harness and navigate her way up once more through the understudy and into the canopy for another day of work on this, the last frontier of the rainforest.